Buenos días. Welcome to Spanish class. Bienvenidos a la clase de español. Today I would like to review pronunciation rules. Las reglas de pronunciación. Now, Spanish, like all languages, is a regional language. Now, what I mean by that is that it changes depending on where you are from, okay? The Spanish spoken in Spain is very different from the Spanish spoken in Mexico, which is different from the Spanish in Cuba, which is different from Puerto Rican Spanish, Dominican Spanish, Guatemalan Spanish, Belizean Spanish. If you're in South America, it changes. If you're in Argentina, it changes for sure. If you're in Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, it all changes, okay? The Spanish spoken in America is also different because it is influenced by English. So if you're learning it in the US and you're learning it from teachers who were taught in the US or grew up speaking it here, you're going to have a slight different pronunciation on certain letters. But there are certain rules that apply to everyone. However, if you're from Spain, things can be very, very different. Okay? This is not to say that one is better than the other. Let's think about it in English. Now, English in America has a sound in it, right? So apple, apple. So you have to say it's nasal, apple. However, if you're from England, it's apple, apple. It's different. So you're changing in the back. The linguistic feature of your region is going to dictate how you pronounce words. Scottish English is different from Irish English, which is different from England, British English, which also has regional differences, and then American English is very different, okay? American English also, you have East Coast English, Northern East Coast English, Southern English, then you have Western English. So there are a lot of differences. Why does this happen? Who's gonna control it? Are we gonna all try to make it just one? You can try that. You're probably gonna have a very, very hard time doing that, because what happens is our native tongues, especially Latinos, okay, in Latin America, our native tongues takes over and it changes the way we think about language, the way we speak language. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have Puerto Rican friends or Dominican friends, okay, and they've tried to teach you Spanish to say the basic, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Now listen carefully to how I'm saying it. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? You hear the S's, right? Estás. However, a Dominican person, a Cuban person, or even a Puerto Rican person will eliminate the S's, okay? They don't say ¿Cómo estás? They say ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? They got rid of the S's. So instead of saying estás, they say está. Are they wrong? They're not wrong. It's just the way that they speak in their country, in their region. It's a linguistic region. Why? Because the Taino Indians, the original people of those islands, the Tainos, in their linguistic feature of their language, they had an elimination of the S. So therefore, that's how they say it. Go to Spain. ¿Cómo estás? Is not ¿Cómo estás? They have a theta sound. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Right? So they change certain pronunciation. Why? You have to go back in history and research the linguistic feature of the languages that they spoke before there was a Spanish. Okay? And Spanish, like I told you before, is influenced by other languages. You have Latin, you have Greek, okay? These languages influenced the new Spanish that we speak today. In Spain, there was a war between two big families, the Aragons, los Aragones, and the Castillos, right? The Castilians. And these, when they fought the war, one of them won, and then, bam, now we have a national language, Castilian Spanish. But even in Spain, there are many different regional changes in the language. So let's not argue about which one is better, this one is better. I mean, you can do that if you like and waste a lot of time, which is what you're going to do. What I want to teach you, or what I teach my students, okay, is more of a, I would say, a universal pronunciation. But is it better than the other? It's not. It's just the way that we speak in Latino America, okay? I'm from Belize. My Spanish is more of a Caribbean Spanish. So I actually do the elimination sometimes if I speak like I'm from Belize when I speak Spanish. But when I started going to school and learning and hearing other people from different places speak in the US, I started noticing the differences, and I kind of figured out, okay, how to tell who's who and where they're from, okay? So I'm going to teach you something, what I call a more like a universal pronunciation, so that if you speak this way, everybody will understand you or figure out what you're saying. You're not wrong. You're just pronouncing a little different. So in all the regional changes, these rules apply, okay? The H in any Spanish word is always silent. We never pronounce the H. In English, the H is a right, an aspirated sound. We call aspiration. So, for example, el huevo. I did not pronounce the H. It's not el huevo, it's el huevo, okay? Now, you see that there's a V there. In English, the V is V, right? So you may have heard el huevo. That's a South American influence, and it's also an English influence on the language, okay? In South America, they say el huevo. Is it wrong? No, it's just different, okay? The V, however, does produce a B sound right here. V gives you a B sound in English. B, huevo, as opposed to huevo, okay? The V sound comes from an English influence, okay? And if you want to pronounce it the universal way, el huevo. If you say huevo, everybody knows what you're talking about, okay? The J in español gives you the H sound in English. So for example, you don't say Jose for Jesus, for Jose, right? The name Jose that everybody in America calls Jose, okay? It's not Jose, it's Jose. A very famous name, Jesus, Jesus. It's not Jesus. That's Portuguese pronunciation. But in Espanol, you give it an H sound. Jesus, okay? You don't ask for jalapenos, you ask for jalapenos. That's a very good word to remember as an example of what the J sounds like in Espanol. It sounds like an H in English. The J gives you the aspirated sound. Now, the double L gives you the Y sound. What do I mean? Yi, okay? Like pollo, okay? Here's another very good one. La ardilla. Now, double L, but I'm giving you a yi, ya sound, okay? Double L always gives you a Y sound. Double L, Y sound. So, not ardilla, ardilla, okay? Always, okay? The V, as I've already said, gives you a B sound, okay? For example, my name is not Vasquez, okay? Many people pronounce it that way, Vasquez, but that's an English mispronunciation. It's actually Vasquez. V-A-S is Bas, because the V gives you a B sound. Vasquez, okay? Next one, Z. The Z gives you an S sound. Muy bien. It's an S sound. Perfect example, el pez. El pez. It's not el pez. There is no Z in Spanish. You're not going to find a word that has a Z sound in Spanish, because that is not a Spanish pronunciation, okay? We don't say el pez, okay? And those things you wear on your feet, the shoes, los zapatos, it starts with a Z. It's not zapatos, it's zapatos. It's an S sound. Anywhere you see the the Z, you're going to give an S sound. So my name ends with a Z, but I don't say Vasquez. That's the Spanish pronunciation. El pez. So let's practice, okay? And this is going to introduce us also to something very important in our life, los animales. What is animales? Can you guess? Animales. What does that sound like? Animales. Do you need to see it? I think you'll figure it out. In English, animal. En español, animal. That is a cognate. Words that look the same may sound very close. Animal. Animal. Animals en español. How do we make plurals? If it ends in a consonant, you add in, from the last lesson, an es. Animales. Animales. So, let's learn some animales. ¿Sí? Vamos a aprender los nombres de los animales. Names of the animals. Okay? La ardilla. La ardilla. Muy bien. El pez. El pez. Muy bien. La culebra. La culebra. Now, la serpiente, the serpent, also works, okay? La culebra. And if you have a specific snake like a cobra, it's la cobra. Cobra is cobra. Cobra. Same spelling, okay? La mariposa. La mariposa. Muy bien. Very easy, right? Just read them. So, here's your V now. The V gives you what sound? B. So, it's not going to be el venado, it's venado. Venado. Muy bien. La tortuga. Tortuga. Break it down into syllables. Makes it easy. Ah, quack, quack. El pato. Pato. Muy bien. Very easy. There's a cognate. Looks the same, right? Take the L-O off and you have camel. El, the double L gives you what sound? Yi sound. El camello. 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 Now, very interesting. In South America, especially in Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, they like to say sho for the double L-O, okay? They don't say el camello, they will say el camello, okay? Older people will say el camello. So they have a slight jo or sho, okay? And this is an influence from Italian and German because Argentina is where the US dropped off all the Nazis, okay, and the fascists from Italy and Germany after World War II. Very interesting history. Nice going, US. Great job. So, la, H is silent, so it's not hormiga, it's muy bien. Hormiga, hormiga, you got it. Okay. El gato, el gato. El león. Now, just read every letter. León, el león. Muy bien. Now, the J gives you what sound? The H sound. So it's not girafa, it's jirafa. Muy bien. La jirafa. Not jalapenos, but jalapenos, okay? El mono. El mono. Really cute. El mono. La cabra. Cabra. Very simple, okay? Very easy. El perro. Now, when you get a double R, you just roll the R a little bit more. So, perro. Perro. Okay? El perro. Okay? Muy bien. Now, the double the double dots on the U is an umlaut in German. I talked about that before. So this accents it, right? El pingüino. El pingüino. Oui. Okay? El pingüino. The penguin. El tigre. Muy bien. La mosca. Muy bien. El águila. El águila. See the little accent? El tilde. Tilde, the accent. El águila. Okay? El bujo. Bujo. Okay? Some say el búho because they get rid of the H. Sometimes because of the U and the O there, to go from uo, right? Búho, right? It's a little difficult, so there's a slight aspiration. El bujo or el búho. Either one is fine. Okay? But if the H is in the beginning of the word, it's always silent. In between certain vowels, it can give you a slight aspiration just because your mouth finds it difficult to go from U to O without giving you a, okay? O. So it kind of produces an H sound, but it's not really there. El ratón. El ratón. Nobody likes el ratón. They're cute. El conejo. Not yo, conejo. Conejo. Why? J gives you the H sound. Conejo. La rana. La rana. Muy bien. El elefante. Muy bien. Muy fácil, muy fácil. Now this one has two tricks. There's the V that gives you a B sound, and there's the J that gives you an H sound. Oveja. Oveja. La oveja. Muy bien. V again. B. La vaca. La vaca. Muy bien. La araña. Araña. Now the N with the squiggly gives you the ñe. Ñe. Araña. Araña. Like the word señor or niño. Niña. Araña. Ñe. Okay? Araña. Muy bien. El oso. El oso. La iguana. Iguana. Muy bien. Z gives you what sound? The S sound. So it's not zorilo because the L gives you, double L gives you a Y sound. So we got two things. Watch out for the Z and the double L. So it's not zorilo, it's sorillo. Zorrillo. El zorrillo. Muy bien. El caballo. El caballo. Muy bien. La concha. Concha. La concha. Muy bien. Now, la zebra. C in front of E gives you a S sound, okay? Zebra. Zebra. It's not la zebra because there is no Z sound. And we're back to la ardilla. Muy bien. Very good. I wanted to review that because it's extremely important, because as we move on, which we will move on really quickly soon into our books, I hope you have been able to get the book. I did post it. I think it's on Amazon. You can get it for about $8, $9. Brand new. It's a lot more money. Buy it used. It's always best to do that. If not, I will take pictures of the things we talk about and put it up there for you. Okay? Please remember 6 rules of pronunciation. Reglas de pronunciación. Rules of pronunciation. Gracias por venir. Gracias por aprender el español. Thank you for coming. Thank you for learning Spanish. It is very important to learn it, okay? It is the second most spoken language in the world and the first most spoken language in the Western Hemisphere. Gracias. Adios.